Commandment is, you shall have no other gods before me. Look at the runner. He's coming in first. He's number one. The first commandment is, you shall have no other gods before me.
I was going to speak on politics, but I think at this point, politics is just corrupt. I mean, I can't help but think of that one scene from America History X. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's probably protected copyright claim, but maybe look at it yourself. But there's this one part in America History X. The main character, who is a hardcore skinhead, he gets arrested for killing somebody, I guess curbing somebody or whatever. And so what happened is that while that happens, he's in jail. So he's in jail, and then of course, you know, he takes his shirt off, shows off his big swastika and his chest, and then you know, that was his calling card, so he can, you know, have an alliance with the other skinheads in jail. So anyways, as the story goes, when you watch it, maybe I could find the clip. I don't even know how much I could play from the clip, but I've been getting copyright claims on my stuff, and I don't even know why it's a big deal to me. But so while he's in jail, he discovers that skinheads have this whole thing with the Mexican gang inside of the jail, like with drugs or whatever. It's business. At the end of the day, it's just business. But anyways, the main character, he ends up getting butt raped in jail by the skinheads because, you know, they didn't really like him being mad about their little business dealings.
That means God should be number one in your life. The second commandment is, you shall not make yourself any graven image. That is, don't bow down to anything but God. Look at that man. He's bowing down to an idol in the shape of a number 2. The second commandment is, you shall not make yourself any graven image.
They sent me, didn't wear no drawers, couldn't read the sizes in the drawers. I used to sniff the drawers, right? There you go, baby. There you go. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't bow down to anything but God. The third commandment is, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Don't use your lips to dishonor God. Look at those big red lips. They're dishonoring God, and they're in the shape of the number 3. The third commandment is, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. The fourth commandment...
Let me stick to election security there. You heard Senator Blunt's concerns about the bill this week. It was essentially unmarked money. It sort of, and it sounded like that was many of the Republicans there. What would you say in response to that? Essentially, he's saying he'd support more money if it's specified for what it is rather than an annual semi-entitlement. What do you say?
We were simply listening to the Secretary of State of the states in this nation, and they said that they needed more help, and we think it's paramount we act quickly, given that we now have the intelligence heads for the United States government in an unprecedented move, all going to the White House and saying that this is happening now. We have a common set of facts, and that's why as we move forward, I'm glad that we were able to get the $380 million out to the states. 47 states now have their funding for things like backup paper ballots. But we also need to get the Secure Elections Act passed. And that's what my friend Roy Blunt was talking about there. We're going to be voting on that bill finally in committee. And that's going to allow us to require backup paper ballots of the 14 states that either have partial or don't have them at all.
Let me
commandment is, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Don't neglect the things of God. Look at that boy. He watches TV all the time and never gives special time to God. And he's inside the number 4, reminding us that the fourth commandment is, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The fifth commandment...
I'm very concerned that you could have a hack that finally went through. You have 21 states that were hacked into. They didn't find out about it for a year, and that's one of the reasons that we want to pass our bill, so that there's now a requirement that they tell the individual Secretary of States immediately so they can protect themselves. And I think you also have the fact that you've got the president undermining this on national TV. Still, after his security people, General Nakasone, that they go in front of the world and they say this is happening, he says that night at a rally in Pennsylvania that it's a hoax. So that concerns me, but at the same time, there are some very good people working on it. I'd love to see this broadened out so we start to discuss also the threats to our power grid system, the threats to our financial system, because the Russians aren't just stopping at the election equipment.
Is the president's comment
Is honor your father and your mother. Look at mum and dad. Oh, they've shaped themselves into the number 5, reminding us that the 5th commandment, number 5, is honor your father and your mother.
undermining national security when he does that?
I think they do, because you've got these people that are our security people, our intelligence people. When he stood next to Vladimir Putin in front of the world and really sided with him over the intelligence people, it sent that same message to the world. So I wish he would listen to these people, but what we have right now is a common set of facts between at least Democrats and Republicans in the Senate, and a common purpose to protect our democracy.
All right, I want to get a couple political questions in here.
Look at that bomb. It could kill someone. And it's in the shape of the number 6, reminding us the 6th commandment is, you shall not kill. The 7th commandment.
The establishment is terrified of that word, socialism. But if we learned one thing from the Obama years, it's that Republicans are going to call us socialists no matter what we do.
Is, you shall not commit adultery. Adultery leaves a heart broken. Always be faithful to the one you marry. Look at that heart. Inside it is the number 7, and it's broken, reminding us that the 7th commandment is, you shall not commit adultery.
For people who have been victimized and have been a victim of crime, they need a criminal justice system that works for them. And I have worked with a lot of very good prosecutors and very good police officers that do some of the hardest jobs every day. But we know that there is racism in the system that needs to be fixed. That's why we have started instituting body cameras, which is a great solution, doing things on eyewitness ID. And I think the solutions are there for us. We just have to reform this system.
Senator Klobuchar, as always, thank you for coming on, sharing your views.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Midterms.
8th commandment is, you shall not steal. Look at this burglar, this thief. He's trying to steal something. His mask is in the shape of a number 8, reminding us the 8th commandment is, you shall not steal. The 9th commandment.
Do here is more important than who we are. Senators, what matters is not our futures, not our own short-term destinies. What matters is our democracy's destiny. Because I think many of us know that people will not know who we are 100 years from now or 200 years from now. But what they will know is this. They will know what we did today, how we voted today, and that is more important than who we are. It's a republic if we can keep it. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.
Majority Leader.
I yield up to 5 minutes to the senator from Pennsylvania, Senator Toomey.
Senator from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I intend later to address the specifics of Pennsylvania if and when an objection is raised with regard to Pennsylvania. For now, I want to address my remarks to what
Commandment is, you shall not lie. That means we should always speak the truth. Look at that 9. He's lying in bed. He's a lying 9, reminding us that the 9th commandment is, you shall not lie. The 10th commandment.
Roll it.
It's mind-blowing because it shows just how out of touch with reality and the struggles of everyday Americans people in Congress are, but also it shows that, you know, their first act as this new Congress could have been to make sure that elderly Americans are able to get the COVID vaccine. But instead of doing something that could actually help save people's lives, they're choosing instead to say, well, you can't say mother or father in any of this congressional language. It's astounding.
It is astounding, Brian.
Commandment is, you shall not covet. We shouldn't want what others have. We shouldn't be greedy. Look at that greedy man looking through the doorway at the diamond ring. The doorway and the ring are in the shape of the number 10, reminding us that the 10th commandment is, you shall not covet.